Okay, so last year, some friends and I took a road trip to Area 51, at least to see what we could as far as the final sign where the camo security contract agents sit up on the hill, which I'm sure you're familiar with those pictures if you're looking up Area 51. And we got all the way to Nevada. I live in Oregon. We road tripped from there. And we drove all the way to Extraterrestrial Highway through Rachel, Nevada, and then onto the Area 51 dirt road. Now, we got out to the final sign where the security workers sit, and we looked around, took some video, and then on our way, as we were headed back to Extraterrestrial Highway 375, our car actually began to overheat. So we pulled off to the side and popped the hood to check out the radiator, see what was going on. And as we pulled off the radiator cap, it literally broke in our hands. The rubber seals that were on it came off onto the ground, into the dirt, and just basically melted into nothing. So we were stuck out there, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this Area 51 road, but it's about, I think, 15 miles long, and it's nothing just but desert, very, very hot, no shade, nothing. And so what basically we had to do was hike back to the highway to hopefully find somebody pulling by to give us a ride into town so we could find a mechanic or some sort of auto parts store or something. And so we started hiking, and it was later in the day, probably 6 or 7, and before we got to the highway it started to get dark. And luckily, by the time we arrived at the highway, there was a car pulling by, and they happened to be pulling onto the Area 51 road. As it turns out, this individual that picked us up, his name is Steve Medlin. I forgot to mention that before we met Steve Medlin, after our car broke down, we spent the previous night camping near the Area 51 back gate. And this is an interesting experience because those private security guys who are hired to watch that back gate actually pulled up on us about 3:30 in the morning. We were all fast asleep, but we were woken up by the sound of his truck idling. It was a Ford Raptor that's all white, and he was shining his brights right at our tent. This obviously scared us because we know these guys are armed, with assault rifle, probably fully automatic, who knows. And so, we started to get out of the tent, very slowly with our hands up to try and figure out what's going on. And they threw it in reverse, and they peeled out of there, throwing smoke everywhere up in the air. So as you can see in this photo here, our tent was set up facing there to the left, and there's a big looping road that you could pull off. This is off of the Area 51 road. And that white security truck pulled up with his brights shining at us right there, as you can see as the road loops around. And he sat there for probably at least a couple minutes. And then as soon as we got up and started to look at him, he just floored it out of there, throwing dust all over all of our stuff. So here's a clip we got of those private security guys pulling past us on the road at about 65 miles an hour. And this is a dirt road, so it just threw dust all over everything. You check it out. Yep.
Jesus. Friggin' asshole. That's really polite.
You just throw so much that into the air. That's
What that
insane.
did to the air filter.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back onto the Steve Medlin part of the story. So we were standing on the side of the road, and this truck pulls up. Lo and behold, it's this guy named Steve Medlin. If you've read about Area 51 online, you probably have heard of the mailbox. It used to be called the black mailbox, I think. But in most of the pictures I find online, it's actually been painted white. And it has his name on the side as well as his address. His name is Steve Medlin. He is a ranch owner who owns, I think, one of the only properties out there off of Area 51 road. And it's about 10 miles out in the middle of nowhere. So this guy, he happened to be pulling in, and he took us in. He took care of us. He gave us a place to sleep, which I'll show you a picture of here. He had a couple manufactured homes on his property out there. He took care of us. His wife made us meals, and the next day he drove us into town so we could get that part for our car. I can't thank this guy enough. This guy was so nice, and he helped us out so much that this year, this June actually, we took a trip down there to Nevada, and we made sure to stop by and see him and bring him a gift The first day we met him last spring, we saw he was drinking Natural Light. I know it's a cheap beer, but he liked it, so we thought we'd bring him a case of beer to say thank you. And also we wanted to get some of him on video talking about, you know, what he's actually seen out there and the truth behind Area 51 and why it's become so popular with all of the talk about UFOs and aliens and everything like that. So here's a picture as we're pulling onto his property. I remembered last year he told us that people often try and pull onto his property, but what he'll do is he'll just take his shotgun and fire over their head. And so, in fear of that, we made sure to pull off before we got onto his property and, you know, wave and make sure it was okay for us to come. We didn't want to accidentally get shot. So for all of you, I wouldn't recommend trying to get onto his property because, you know, he's very, very secure about his land and he doesn't want random people driving up there. So I would not recommend trying to go out there yourself. Just watch this video and leave it at that. Leave the poor man alone. He already has to deal with so many people camping out there now on his property trying to see the UFOs in the sky and everything like that. So just leave the poor guy alone. So a little background on this guy, Steve. He is the only American citizen, as far as I know, that is allowed on this Area 51 land that is not affiliated with the military or the Air Force or the government. They granted him rights to the land he sold to the government back in the 70s because he has free-range cattle and also his water comes from the hills up in the Area 51 land. So they granted him rights and he can come and go as he pleases. He actually has a personal radio that he could radio into those security guards in the white truck to let them know that he's passing through. So it's pretty unique to talk to this guy, being that he's the only one in America, or the only person, you know, who may have actually seen something, or he's the only one who can actually go there and look if he wants to. So the following video you're about to see is an interview we took with Steve. It was more of just like a conversational interview about nothing specific, but towards the end he starts to talk about Area 51, how it all started, who the names were of the people who started all of it, and about how they actually bought land from him. So watch and enjoy, and I hope this will answer some of the questions you had about Area 51. Well, here we are, Steve Medlin's ranch. Coming?
Meet you then.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Where you live, girl? Yeah.
It's a beautiful place you have here.
Yeah, we've lived here for about 43 years. Yeah.
Awesome.
Generate our own electricity and got a phone, sometimes works or sometimes don't. But satellite phone, you know. Got that big dish out there.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so we,
Some good living.
I guess, we like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's
We
awesome.
left earlier this morning, went to lunch, got a truckload of hay, just got home a little while ago, so I eat a little lunch and taking 5 here. Yeah, can I have you a glass of water or something?
Hope we didn't
Oh, we're
interrupt
okay.
you.
No, I just sitting here. No. Just sitting here. Yep.
I'm amazed at how many of those Joshua trees are out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of them. They're getting me more all the time. You know, 43 years ago when I got here, you know, there wasn't, some countries, you know, there wasn't hardly any. Now there's not something about this high, all up the highway there. You know, you look out the window, they're about this high and this high.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it's like a forest.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Desert forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we went to Vegas for the week and then made sure that we put in time so we could come out here and thank you. So
You're more than welcome, you know. Like I say, I enjoy helping these kids, you know. I was a kid one time.
yeah,
Got in trouble a time or two, you know, out and about. Yeah,
yeah, me too.
yeah.
That's for sure. So it's all cattle?
Yeah, cattle mostly, yeah. Yeah. Buy all my hay. Yeah.
Where's it come from?
I really was raised in Wickiup, Arizona.
Oh. Oh, I could have closed that.
They probably come in like it. Yeah. Yes, sir. We used to work construction for 10 years, and when I was 28 years old, I quit. I kind of had a couple of them right at least, and I kind of outgrowed them, and I hated construction. Got moved up here and bought this place, yeah.
So you go pick up the hay, or do you have it delivered?
Sometimes I pick it up, sometimes I have it delivered.
That's a long drive, huh?
Yeah. Got a 40-foot trailer, I pull a lump, then I go over Rachel or over Niall, then I pull 2 40-foot trailers, so I really get a big load. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they go through the hay, huh?
Or sometime, then I just kind of get it stacked, keep it stacked in case I do need it, you know? Yeah. Finding cheaper hay, well, I try to get it bought. Yeah. Don't hurt to have it on hand.
No. That's good.
Put a tarp over it, you know, and
So how many cattle?
I try to keep around 800,000 mother cows. Yeah.
Then you sell them to market, or?
Yeah, you sell the old cows when they get old, the old bulls, but then yearlings or weaners, you know, 8 or 10 month old ones, you sell them, you know, like February, March, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have to take them to an auction?
Sometimes I sell them right here on the TV, video.
Oh.
Yeah, they got a sell maybe 2 sales a month on the video. They come out here and video them, you know, right here in the crowd.
Mm.
And then they 2 times a month they sell them on TV, have a big auction. Yeah, they sell cattle in all over the U.S. on it. They'll be all over the country.
Wow.
Back.
Right.
Oh, we'll do it out here in about an hour or 2 in rope here in a little while.
Practice?
Practice, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna mosey up to he's gonna show me where that gate is.
Gate is.
Let me see if we can find us some flying saucers.
I don't think you'll find one out there for 42 or 3 years, not there to see any, but they had a mine up here, Tim Paiute they call it, back in the 70s, you know. There wasn't nobody lived over Rachel Lynn at all when I first moved here, you know. So they started a little town over there. There wasn't no town or nothing over there. They started a little town then, and then the farm moved in there. A couple of farms moved in there too about then. Like I said, there wasn't nothing there when I moved here in '73. Excuse me. So then they, like I say, they started a little town. They opened a little bar there. They had a grocery store too, you know. So the mine shut down. The little bar went broke, and then 2 or 3 of them come in and tried to get the bar going, you know, and it all went broke, you know, all the time. Finally, this Glenn Campbell come in, and his other Joe and Pat had this bar. He opened it up, you know, and so this Glenn Campbell come in, and he got started about these UFOs, you know, have all these UFOs over here. Joe and Pat, they jumped on that with him, kind of, you know, and now they got cars after cars going from Vegas, California, all over. Went out there to that bar and selling them T-shirts and coffee cups and everything, you know. Yeah, they made a hell of a business out of that. Just tourists, you know. If it wasn't for that, it'd be broke as shit again, you know. We wouldn't be there at all. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, they just got that started. And George Knapp jumped on it too, kind of with him, you know. And yeah.
George Norrie, no,
Art Bell.
Art Bell.
Yeah, they kind of got in this publicity, you know, and it's got that, like I say, you can go with that razor, you don't see a car go past that bar much, hardly ever. They come, hell, you think 40, 50 cars a day go over at that bar and buy T-shirts and, you know, and stuff. They got 2 or 3 tour buses from Vegas.
Oh wow.
All the people up there, mostly foreigners, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. And this is nice out here where you're at.
It is, yeah. They come in and back in '85 on the counting desk, and they whipped out 89,000 acres of my ranch. So when they did that, they told me that, I told them I didn't want no money, or just go buy me another ranch and replace it, you know. They took part of my ranch, all my water, a lot of my water's on that big mountain there. They said, no, we'll just give you a real good letter signed by the Secretary of the Air Force. But you still got the same rights you've always had, and even if they fenced it, it'd be big enough for me and my cows to get through. They put a base station in my house right there, and they got 2 handheld radios. When I go up one of them roads, I call them, tell it's me instead of somebody else. Yeah, that's the way that is. They're really good neighbors too.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
Seen him out there grading the road.
that's the county doing that.
Oh.
Yeah.
We saw them in the truck. They blew by us. They blew by us in the truck about 70 miles an hour on the dirt road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. Sure is good living, that's for sure.
It's quiet. I love it.
We're
Beautiful.
staying over there at the Orleans, over in Vegas,
Vegas, New Orleans, yeah. Yeah. How long are you there for?
till Sunday.
Till Sunday, yeah.
Head back, fly back home, and get back to reality.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to get you back. I'm going to go on vacation tomorrow, start. I leave in the morning, just go rope for 2 days and one rope, and then one day and another. Then my